I was in grade 3 at that time, and I was passing by with my public transport, and I saw a couple fighting on the street. Like, this man was beating up the lady. It was actually pretty horrendous and was tormenting. Actually, I had a different view of relationships altogether at that age, but as a child, I didn't necessarily understand what was going on, but I think with my mindset at the moment, I would have actually done something.
Yes, it's actually several times before, and the person actually went back to the situation and dropped the docket and everything whilst we sent her to the police station and everything.
Well, ke tseba motho o na abusiwa, and then she's part of my family. Ke mangwane wa ka, and then o na abusiwa ke her former boyfriend. Fortunately, in our family, I ka se le ba intervene ba my advisor hore a mo tlohele. Unfortunately, no stand tonelong hore nna nka yetsa because ne ke le monyane thata. I think I was in primary, so my family did intervene, and then ba no mmotsa hore a mo tlohele, and then she ended up a mo tlohetse.
Ngila ka sister motho who has been in an abused relationship, and ntwe ke rileng ki tiputisitse gore is it the right thing to do, and etlo mo thusa byang hore a bone gore ntwe e irahalang is bad. So it turned out very bad. Ki loses a friendship, and yeah, I hope sometimes otla gopola hore I actually really cared about her.
Thobela dumelang ra la amogela lebeletse daily Thetha nakalina ke Tumelo sotlogolo sa mathomo sa ga Mothotoane le gone le as le kwagetse from what young people are saying on the streets. We're talking about the witnesses telling or the witnesser abuse. Well, the SABC has come out with a campaign #ABChuang #Kuluma break the silence, and we want to know, are you empowered enough gore o ka blow the whistle on abuse, and what steps can you take go make sure gore thusha motho e leng gore wa bona gore o in an abusive relationship, and o ska fela moya go ntse o bona gore motho o in an abusive relationship? Because I mean, stats do show gore 63 women were killed in Gauteng alone in the past 30 days, and 10 of them in the hands of their partners.
Sanibonani igama lami ngokini waka Shandu. Njengoba seshilo nje uTube namhlanje sikhuluma ngodaba olubucayi kakhulu ukuthi wena njengolunga lomphakathi wenzani, because isikhathi esiningi umphakathi usukwazi ukuthi umuntu ohlukumezwayo ukuphi, uhlukunyezwa ubani, nanokuthi isigebengu endaweni sikuphi, nanokuthi kule family or le relationship mhlawumbe uyazi ukuthi umngane wakho bamhlukumeza, kodwa umbuzo uthi wenzani na, nanokuthi is it easy na ukuthi ungenelele when kune fight or kunokuhlukumezana kwabantu ababili, noma khona into osukuyisabela ukuthi yazi ngisabela impilo yami. Sikhuluma nawe at home. Hit us up on Facebook daily_Thetha, on Twitter as well at daily_Thetha. Give us a call on 011 339 1315 siza ukuthi umbono wakho thina about uhlela namhlanje.
Kini you know, one of the voxies, of course, from our young person ablela gore witnessed abuse at a very young age in grade 3. And I'm very curious to know from our audience members, or have you witnessed a crime perhaps elengore ile ya dula le wena motlhomongwe you tried to assist or you couldn't because no lo monyane, but have you?
Yeah, thanks to me. The name is Lebohang Ramatsui, affectionately known as Kerese. So the thing is, I think all of us here have experienced some sort of abuse, like being prominent in our communities, because I myself have experienced that, you know, you get neighbors who are fighting. As a child, you don't understand what's happening, and it becomes engraved in you that, you know what, this is a norm, this is society, this is what happens. So I have experienced that before.
Have you tried to help, or you felt helpless as a child?
As a child, I felt helpless, but as growing up, because this thing is constant, it keeps on happening. So I have approached people before and say, no, guys, stop it. Then the guys are like, this is how we should treat women. I'm like, no, this is not how you should treat women. We should treat women with absolute respect. But one thing I want to point out to you is that these days we're living in a society where people are so... like they just want to take pictures, put them on Instagram, and say, you know what, I just witnessed someone beating up someone. What are you doing about it at the moment?
On the spot, because it's an emergency.
I think that's what the SABC is talking about, especially SABC one Guti Kuluma, break that silence. What I found out as well, you at home Guti, when Sanjan my sister, have you ever been in a situation where ubona abantu Guti or was to call him to Slumezega, but was Kuluma about it? Maybe because umganwako 2 months or 2 weeks after that, uzobela back to your boyfriend and have you ever been to that situation?
Yeah, actually, I have been in that situation because Umamami, I won't lie, she has been emotionally abused and physically abused, but then...
By who?
Stepfather Sami, no Baba Mongzalayo, but then wonke umuntu amtholayo unjalo but then abantu efamily yakhe bamphelela like inhliziyo akekho umuntu ofuna ukumsiza sometimes ubaba mbeka nomshaya bakhona like ngisho sizani bangasizi nami ezumntana
ukuthi umemeze ucela abantu ukuthi abasize but abantu bengasizi
abasizi nami ezumntana I have tried nosisi wami but then at the end of the day ubaba uzosifakelela sonke so mina lento le yabantu aba abusewayo ngicabanga ukuthi abantu kumele bayisukumele because it's serious.
Okay, I think ngokuhamba kwesikhathi so besine namaphoyisa khona la we couch you would find out exactly what's the best way of reporting a crime especially mayenza ngaphambi.
Yeah, and I think that's important Kini because we need to know the steps tshele gore ka dijea gore re khone go thusha batho ba leng gore ba nile thusho ya rena. Mara gone byanong ga we are joined in studio by Sihle Yende kena abuti wa Thembisile Yende. You do know the story eleng gore re bala ka mo dikuranteng in the news about Thembisile Yende who lost her life, and we also have a family spokesperson Brian. Thank you so much for your time and under these circumstances. And sorry for your loss, my brothers, because I'm sure I say a very easy topic. But Lena as family, what did you find out, Katembisile, leading up to her death?
I won't say much because I want to say a lot about a company which is failing as Yende's family. So some of their own protocol or as compromises, they fail to adhere to it. So the thing is, we need answers so that we can rest. Because interceding in it's okay, it's fine. We don't know.
And like a company and really I read in the media the investigations they're still pending ja company. There was CCTV footage but then again somehow it be disrupted as the continuation of the video. Do you feel there was more that they could have done Tusha Thembisile?
Yes. Because after the incident, they were supposed to be ESCOM employees at home to say a lot about what happened maybe during her working hours and then to brief us about the situation in and then so that from now it's not only SAPS in private investigation from ESCOM into abayenzayo ukuze basibonise ukuthi okay from now yini eyenzakalayo siyaphuma ku ezasemsebenzini or it's either indaba zaselokishini or something or it's a conflict from work or something.
Brian, let me come to you. Sibone emaphepheni kakhulukazi and we've been following the whole story. Ube umuntu onjani usisi Thembisile?
Lusha Thembisile and like she was a people's person. Like she was bubbly, like everywhere, wherever she was, like there was joy nje, like la khona nje bekunenjabulo, like umuntu wayethanda umndeni wakhe kakhulu, like wayezwana noma, like actually they were friends banomama wakhe kakhulu, the family as a whole. Nomntwana wakhe, like she would post about everything ayenza nomntwana wakhe, like she would say my child this, every like noma kuthiwa benza ukudla
like, together
she would post about it.
How did that affect Umamake, the whole thing that's happening now?
As we are speaking now, I was with her earlier this morning. Like Umama is not feeling well, like she's on medication, like she's very very ill, like I'm patanga kahle lento lena, like ulimele kakhulu la khona, like the family as a whole, like uze uyasaba nokubukela iTV ngendlela ekungayo, like iTV lapha bazobonisa Thembisile this Thembisile that, like bekasakhala ukuthi at least umntwana kaThembisile akekho usesikolweni, so kungcono uyakhona ukuyibukela iTV only umntwana makangekho asesikolweni, because like it's really devastating, like it's really sad. Like it's really sad.
And we're so sorry for your loss, Brian. And I can imagine for Motswadi Olongore, you know, as mothers we are proud, or you've raised your daughter and you know why bereka, but now to feel or you've failed, but the same company in I can imagine how it feels. But from gap Thembisile aishiang in the family.
As keeping cool. indlela izinto zenzeke ngakhona ngizothatha isikhathi uku-accept ne because isikhathi esiningi bengispenda isikhathi naye early morning even after my working hours wakhe bengiba naye so it hurts a lot so le gap leyo uthembi izoba yenzile like so much. It's very hurting.
I want you to know, God, we're all in your prayers and we're with you as a country. We're praying with you, Kamoka Esbat, we're witnessing these crimes. And we're hoping that justice will be served for UTMBC. But thank you so much. I know it's really difficult for Godla Daily Thetha, but thank you for your time.
All right, sir.
All right. Well, we're going to go to an ad break. And of course, we do have more guests. And when crime is happening around you, so that you help and save lives. It's in our hands, South Africa. Hashtag Kuluma. Break the silence. We'll be right back.
It has a lot to do with the psychological aspects of the perpetrator, and a lot of people sometimes don't know how to handle such situations. And I think that it's a huge problem in South Africa that needs to end because domesticated violence is not okay. And I think that we should just stop being afraid. We should just speak out and continue fighting against it.
I think it's because, between husband and wife, I think the norm is that we ignore family matters until what happens is if there's conflict in the house, me as an outsider, I don't feel it's my place to get involved in a marriage, you understand? So now, obviously, out of respect, I think I would have to stay quiet until maybe she reaches out to me. But other than that, I don't think I can do something outside of the family.
Amogela bag go buima le kwele ge young man a bolela gona mo gore na o feel like I kenya go di tsena until motho a tla go nna nkgopela thusho mara botšhage gore what happens in a case mo leng gore it's already too late and what measures can you take wena go make sure gore o dlala your role in preventing crime e leng gore wa witness o thushe maphodisa le gona gore ba tshware these perpetrators in time
because isikhathi esiningi kuba nzima Tumi whereby you'll find ukuthi you know ukuthi ubani owenza lento but egcine nakho konke uyibuza what's going to happen to me ngivikele kangakanani mina. We've seen our cases. There was even a story of a Josie FM DJ where got the Caesar and we've seen that happening in my stadiums as well, where we say stadium and then you see umuntu abusing intombi yakhe uyangelelele uyakhuza uyatublega or uyakwazeka and you don't know ngempela what is it that you need to do as men finalists? We do have Colonel Letta Silepe from SABC as well as Dominic Msidi or whistleblower. Sinimungele kwi Daily Thetha mama.
Thank you.
As mama ankaleng agwena Colonel we issue whereby ukuthi umuntu asabele impilo yakhe ukuthi if lo muntu baxabana and angibazi baxatshwaniswa yini I'm driving what's the best way to interfere esimene sinjengaleso without mina ngizithole sengisenkingeni
when these people are driving
They say I'm driving and there's something happening next to the road. I'm like, hayibo kwenzakalani but ngifuna ungenelela ngisize situation enjengale. What's a best way?
I think the best way will be to call it 1011. Where, remember, it's an emergency. You don't know what's happening and what's going to happen thereafter. Sometimes you pass them, you think maybe they are arguing, it's a family matter. At the end of the day, you'll hear that something happened and you pass there. Just call 1011, indicate where you are, if it's possible for you to stop. Just stop, call 1011, indicate to them, I'm at this point, at this juncture or the street or the name, wherever, the location where you are, that I'm witnessing this. If there is a car, give them the registration number. And if possible, normally you won't give your name if you don't want to give your name. But if you want to give your name, you can provide your name and indicate that I'm there and something is happening and I can see that it's very bad. Or maybe if they are Metro Police, remember Metro Police, they are part of us, they can also assist in cases like that.
How long does it take U111 to come to Soweto? If I call it now and say Tiplu on Gup,
remember when you call 10111 from the center, they will dispatch the call to the location where you are. Then the police station, the nearest police station, or remember our police vehicles, they also have radios. So they'll also be listening. Those who are on duty, they'll also be listening. But they will also receive an indication from the call center that dispatch a vehicle or the vehicle must go to that location and this and that happen. They will also give them a brief explanation of what's happening.
Ma'am Dominic, you're an expert ka whistleblowing from outer. And for motho sa kushong gore whistleblowing ke in a literal sense, I need to blow it. Okay, whistleblowing in simple terms.
Good morning, everyone in studio, and good morning, everybody, to the viewers at home. Thank you very much for having me. As you say, I am from OUTA, which stands for Organization Undoing Tax Abuse. And in that environment, we deal a lot with whistleblowers and the information that they provide to us, because they know us as a non-profit organization. They know that they can come to us and tell us what is happening, particularly in our state-owned entities, where we know there's a lot of challenges of corruption and all sorts of maladministration that's going on. I will speak to the concept of whistleblowing. Uma umuntu ayi whistleblower, before as approach anybody to speak or to give the information that they have, they need to be comfortable with respect to the privacy of their identity. Because when you blow the whistle on somebody, obviously you are drawing public and everybody else's attention to the wrongdoing. So whistleblowers need to be reassured that their identities will be kept confidential and secret and all of that.
So la confirm whistleblowing is dangerous, hence the importance of privacy, confidentiality.
Absolutely, absolutely. Sure. I'll speak to you particularly from my experience in the organization that I am in. We are dealing with a lot of high-powered investigations and cases, and the people that come to us will come from organizations that have very important individuals that have a lot of power to do a lot of things that are not correct. So the fact that people approach us with that kind of sensitive information just goes to show how well we treat our whistleblowers in terms of protecting their identity.
Understanding I think it's a big word, witness protection unit. How resourceful and protective is the witness protection unit, and the measures
I'm not it's not my area of expertise to speak about the witness protection units. I think that would be something that the police would be able to speak to. Yes.
Yeah, talking about the witness protection, it's the mandate is within the Department of Justice, the courts. But what we normally do as a detective or investigating officer after the case has been reported, there's this person who have information, and this person maybe doesn't want to, like she's saying that she doesn't want to be exposed, she wants to remain anonymous, or maybe there are threats. Remember, witness protection, that's where you want to protect the witness who might, at the end of the day, be removed from society. It depends on how big the issue is.
And also, Mama, ngifuna ukubuza la Kenneth ukuthi ngihlala emphakathini or la ngihlala khona, I know ukuthi le couple le ihleze ilwa njani. And the time ngifonela amaphoyisa, I don't want to be that person okuthiwa nanglo, and then amaphoyisa makafika la emnyango, but no, we are fine. And then amaphoyisa goes back. How do you make sure if I call okwesibili, guys, labantu bahlezebelwa, there's nothing fine about it? How do you make sure that you go there, you intervene, and make sure lo muntu lo you are protected? Because esikhathini ngama abusers bayakwazi baphinde behlale phansi lo muntu bam abuser futhi bamtshela ukuthi you were actually wrong. That's why I'm trying. How do you make sure mina njengalezi ngiyangenelela njengamaphoyisa without mina ngiza ngivele ukuthi ubani kahle kahle olokho business mina?
You know what, I do agree with you, because domestic violence mostly it happens within people who know each other well. The police will be, you'll call the police, they will go there. When they arrive, no, we are just arguing. It's just an argument. What we do when we train our police officers on this domestic violence course or victim empowerment course, what we say to them, remember, it's a domestic violence. You don't know the extent of the violence that is there. When you go there, make sure that you have backup, make sure that normally you will expect the victim to say that everything is fine, but you must check the safety of the victim. Is the victim safe at that point in time? And you must also remain there and interview and make observations within the surrounding. But most of the times it's very difficult, like you are saying, especially if you don't have full information. You know, it does happen. You only saw it then, but it has happened previously. No one has reported it and it's not known. It becomes difficult. But if it's something that has happened and you are indicating that they are always fighting and maybe you see physical injuries, you know, then the police officers can do that. Yeah.
Okay, Mama. And we also want to ask as part of, you know, community members, neighbors, mobilizing, abuse. And it's not just physical abuse, hate crime, speech, as the community members. We find out Garboy. Daily Thetha about how you and I can stop being the silent witnesses. Breaking the silence, that's of course the campaign SABC 1 more we are promoting as South Africans reaching responsibility break the silence. I think it's also important, Kini, it's not just about the victim side of the story, but the perpetrator as an offender in their minds.
Into sobezikhuluma kakhulukazi namhlanje njengoba sobe sinoThepha Ramashile as well, just to find out ukuthi yena ke umuntu wesilisa owazithola esengalekwe ngalo yomthetho wenza ongekuhle, but namhlanje uyayisola impilo yakuseshintshile because wakwazi ukuthi ejele ayogweba isigwebo sakhe, nenogwebeni isigwebo sakhe washintsha indlela abuka ngayo izinto. Thepha, welcome to Daily Thetha mfowethu.
Thank you.
Uyaphila baba?
Correct.
Asiqale ngawe mfethu. I believe ukuthi ube ne situation where wagcina so uqabane nomuntu obuthandana naye wazi wambeka izandla ngendlela ukuthi azadlule emhlabeni.
Besingathanda reverse ratani.
Benenza nani?
The person was a tenant in my flat. She actually forced herself into my place without my knowledge. Then I go find her out. Seduce or globally next no feature we fought and then I feel I'm blackmail like a big skiddy. Kuru urlasin as nature can nakamko naksati and seduce or globally the next no robally and I saw the following day I'm repeat so blackmail like a case. I am case Kemarapela, then Rawella Mra. Since then, I came to a plague in Yagito or Tlatrongo.
Then what?
Then the fight was bad the other day. We fought, then she ended up losing her life. Sadly, so something that I really regret myself, and I want to make peace with the family.
Your experience in beinjani wena ubulala umuntu bungaqondile and awuthandani naye but nilalile ndawonye and you blackmail at the same time kugcina sekwenzakalani engqondweni yakho?
The thing is I was already damaged in the spirit because I had a lot of anger and hatred while growing up. I'm a product of domestic violence. I've been both the victim and the culprit. When you're being violent to a child, you're teaching the child to grow to be violent at you and be violent at other people. So in my case, I was maliciously abused by my own parents so much that until I started developing the thought of taking their lives. Yeah.
And can you kusha story sa le msadi? So kitsana ka kamoreng ya gago o ka ntlong ya gago as mosadi ene o re ke go sedusa wena as monna wa khonagala gore o re ke go sedusa gore go dirishitse nto we or ha o tse responsibility gore wena o dumetse o consentile to thobalone eu.
Ke tse responsibility because it's not like she pointed a gun against my head, but I was vulnerable. Something if I knew the outcomes of it, I was going to try harder to prevent that one, you see. But I was so vulnerable and get lost in the temptation. The temptation was too big for me. And then due to the anger that I already had in my system, it was so much, something that was building over years, about 2 decades of my life. I've been experiencing the violence, being abused, you see.
Yeah. And do you
so
think
it was then tons and tons of anger and hatred in my system. So much that I was convinced that all women are nothing but bad and they deserve nothing, they don't deserve to live. Because now I was relating to the way I was brought up by my mother, being violently abusive towards me. So in that case, it was in my mindset that, you know what, all women are the same. That's why, you see. And later on, I ended up doing something that after being convicted, it's then that I got healed. And I started realizing that actually what I've done to the family was very bad, something that she didn't deserve to be killed. You know what, people don't deserve to be killed, more especially by other people. You see. So that's why I started doing some introspection. So now while in prison, I was reading papers and listening to the radios, and they reported how South African men have become monsters who are maliciously abusing and killing their partners and children. And I was wondering to myself, man, there must be something wrong with the South African men. And as I was asking myself, what is it that could be what could be going wrong? And then that's where I discovered that I was actually one of those people because I had so much anger and hatred towards women. Then I told myself, you know what, let me put it in a book to let the whole country know how did it came that South African men are monsters who are maliciously abusing and killing their partners and children. Because I used to be one of them. It was like Jesus Christ touched me, because before then I was so deep in anger and hatred so much that I was even calling myself the devil. I was actually on the edge of becoming the next real killer. If it wasn't for Christ who touched me, you see, and I welcomed this knocking in prison. Then I wrote everything down. The reason why I named the book The Cycles of Anger and Hatred, because it's a cycle. One start being a victim and you grow up to be a culprit, because there's a great desire in your system to want to make you feel like hating someone in the biggest way ever. Why? Because you're being hurt in the biggest way ever. Monsters and serial killers are not born. Let's go to
that. If ngempela kuthiwa le anger ubulokhunani, if awuyanga ejele we wahlala phansi ingqondo yakhe yabuya kabusha, mhlawumbe kwakungenzeka ukuthi kwakungaba i-serial killer.
I was on the edge of becoming one. I don't want to lie. The anger and hatred was so much that it was just tons and tons in my system. Something that happened in a period of about 2 decades, because I was abused in my childhood, in my teenagehood, up until I was 20 years. My mother was able to violently attack me. So being a serial killer it's not something that is can build in just overnight or in one day, in 1 week or in 1 month. Even a year cannot be enough to create a serial killer. It has to be a process of years that is building in your system. One slap and a punch won't create a serial killer or a monster. The process takes years until it is tons and tons of anger and hatred. It is just a mountain of it. So, like I told you, that once that being a victim, then you grow to be a culprit. You have a great desire of putting pain in someone in the biggest way ever. Because why? You're being hurt in the biggest way ever.
And
like
I
told you,
I really back to that hate. At least mama ne ba go abuse. Ne ba go dirang o sa lo monyane.
My mother abused me so much that the other day she hit me until I said I'm dead. I was the age of 6 then. She went on until I said I'm awake. And then as time goes by, she hit me with the fan belt. I tried to run away, but she tripped me and fell on the floor. As she was hitting me with the fan belt, I tried to grab in my hand, but she stumbled on my neck and tried to put the fan belt harder. As I was gripping hold tight to that fan belt, she pumped my neck with the foot until the fan belt slipped out of my hands, and I hit the floor with the back of my head. As I grow older, the abuse was so much that when I was a teenager, I started being depressed, and I became this up to no good in the school and breaking all the rules. I was actually the most punished learner in my school because the depression was so much in my system. And then I was wishing to just die.
Because so asanka wadila like depression around counseling because no only one and you never spoke to anyone about it.
I tried. I reported to my relatives, but they thought I'm being a rebellious child and I wasn't listening to my mother. Little did they know that I was actually going through hell in my place. And then as the other day I confronted her, asking, did you really brought me into the world just to make me suffer like that? When she told me now, and later on,
unfortunately sorry papa chong ke matlhoko a leng gore bolela ka ona le go le tshepa re botsa about ka mokgwa go tseng ka gona go tlile bjang gore a be a victim and a gole a lefeletse e le an offender a papa chong. And when we come back we still talk about taba ya gore how do we assist batho ba leng gore ba bona gore they're in abuse relationships ra bona.
Welcome back to Daily Thetha. Namhlanje siyakhuluma, we are breaking the silence. So wanna find out from you at home ukuthi wenza njani ukuthi wenze show ukuthi isimo osibonayo uyasireport nanokuthi uyasivala lesihlava esibhekene naso eNingizimu Afrika ngendlela kwenza ngalo. Let's go to Ekagiso sithole ukuthi Kabelo uthini. Kabelo.
Hello.
Kunjani ma?
Ngiyaphila njani?
Sikhona. Ithini comment yakho namhlanje about uhlelo namhlanje?
What I wanted to say is I had a friend who was in the same situation.
Yeah.
Thing is, it is very difficult to actually make someone understand ukuthi laba khona it's not a good space. Because now they tend to believe ukuthi okay, no muntu uyenza lento ayenza because uyangithanda, and it's quite sad. Because then at the end of the day, that person uyabuya back to me and it's just the same situation over and over again. So it came to a point where the guy hated my guts. He hated me so much that whenever she came to me, it would be a problem.
So umngane wakho bemxoxela ukuthi wena uyamtshela ukuthi umuntu ongekho right?
I did. I tried. I would talk to her all the time. But then for Yena, I think I just go to a space where I'm like, you know what? I think she'll get her breakthrough. But then it's sad because Nyambona on the sideline and it's happening to her all over again. But then at the same time, once umuntu angatshela ngokuthi I want to be out of this, angeke yenzakala.
Maybe there's another question ukuthi umsiza kanjani umuntu ongaziboni ukuthi udinga usizo wena. I think that's where it should go because ekugcineni nakho konke kumele umsize umuntu if adinga usizo mangalisize mangadinga ugcina kahle umuntu omuntu.
Because I think about the first step towards solving a problem ko admit wena gore una le bothata. So I guess it's another question.
That's it.
All right. Thank you so much Kabelo.
Thank you.
All right, we're joined in studio by Andile Khalisiwe, of course, also from Open Disclosure, from Kumbule SABC 1. We're also joined by Duduzile Matunsi Olongoruja from the Soweto Women's Forum. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us.
Pleasure.
Andile, let's start with you and talk about the psychological effect. Sometimes the perpetrator in Aliona or separator, the victims for their families, or even convincing them so maybe even vilifying.
Well, I mean, the first symptoms of someone being in an abusive relationship with an abuser known to himself, because there are people who do things and not realize that what they're doing is abuse. But when this is something of a habit to the perpetrator, this is how they live, this is what they do. One of the very first things that they'll do is when they start, being in a relationship space with you, is to push everyone, away from you. So when you're with them, you party, you do this, you do that, you do. So it's those little things that will ultimately lead to someone telling you what to wear, where to go, who to be with, who not to be with. And at situations, imagine a married couple, then even your family becomes taboo. You going to visit your family for the weekend is not the right thing to do. So I think more than anything, it's them. We must always, at the back of Yonkan and Deskulmanga, remember that abuse is about power. It's like rape. It's not about someone climaxing. It's about them feeling that at that moment they are your God. They will make you do whatever it is.
They're in control.
Yes, and that feeling, that's their satisfaction, or that's what satiates them, to see you powerless.
In that moment, in the situation, no feel or no feel like you're in control, you're a god or powerful because you're taking control or decisions. At that moment.
Not exactly, not really. Like I told you that I've been a victim about 2 decades of my life. It was like I wanted to get back at what happened to me. Like I told you that we started being a victim. Then
of what the situation
but not really a revenge, because I can say she actually put petrol to the fire that my parents have started.
Yeah. And let me go to this tweet before there's a tweet coming in from OA2_yours2. Police and gangs and perpetrators end up working hand in hand. That is why we are afraid to break the silence. What do you think about that, guys? I don't know. Do you think police and gangs, they work together? So the abantu you report this gang, and then 2 weeks or a week later, we'll back Lomund Abekola Pagatin because of police. Have you ever felt like that, ma'am?
Okhuluma ukuthi ladies Ndebele.
Yeah.
So ngiyabonga ukuthi ngibe khona kulolu hlelo. Ngoba ngomunye owaba kwi abuse relationship. Ngithi indaba iqala ngawe personal. Angeke usizeke unless when you take a decision. But the very important thing ukuthi uthole abantu or umuntu ozoku empower, because mostly into engiyibonile ebantwini kakhulu, they need empowerment. So badinga ukuthi bafundiswe nge-life itself. So as kwi-community ngingumfundisi, umsebenzi engiwenzayo kwi-community ngaso sonke isikhathi ukuthi umuntu azithole ukuthi ubani kahle kahle.
Uthe now buqhamuka kwe-relationship lapho abuzwa khona, waphuma kanjani?
Iloko ke engushoyo ukuthi is to cry out. Fanele udinga usizo ungathuli, because no one will know ukuthi what is happening la ukhona unless you cry out.
Thank you so much. Mama Aleta, can you please pass on the mic? A very, very powerful statement there. Maphodisa le berekishana le di gangsters, le di perpetrators. That's why batho ba chaba go break the silence. How true is that? Can the police as well be part of the problem? Ya gore batho ba nyaka go report the case.
I think to me that statement that is indicated there, we do have some instances where we receive complaints of people indicating that we have informed the police about this and that. At the end of the day, I see the police car or somebody threatening me or passing by my house or where I'm staying, so I feel threatened. What we do, we have recently launched the call center for complaints. Normal complaints where I've reported a case and I've been threatened or I'm not happy with how the police is dealing with the case. And the other option will be maybe to go to the police station, maybe to write it and to drop it at the police station, maybe at the client service center, or maybe to speak to the client service center commander, or maybe to speak to the station commander if you don't want to other people to know what you are reporting. So the case will be delegated to somebody who will investigate further. So that person will be between you and that person. Or if you want to do it anonymously, like I've said earlier on, is that you report it, you don't indicate your name, but you provide details so that at the end of the day, that person will, so push forward with the investigation, not go back to the person who have reported it.
Yes, very good. Let's come to you too as well. What do you make of the statement that says Lulile Njengamaji tweet yakho ukuthi amaphoyisa asemenzana neGeben? As a forum,
personally, yes. I feel it is happening. When you see when someone has abused you and they tell you there's no use reporting it because I'm friends with who and who works on the police station. So you feel at some point I've got no power. I can voice it out, but he's gonna be then he comes back begging. What does it say to me as a victim? How can I deal with that? I've reported, but he's out. So what does the law say? Does it stand for me as the victim, or does it try to make the victim and the perpetrator on the same page to say Niafana? And I mean, as the victim, I'm still suffering. So I'm seeing him every day.
Let's come to you as a forum. Nenzani, as a Soweto Women Forum.
Okay. Mina, personally, I'm from the SIP, Siapambili Youth Pioneers with Sevens and Nature. We teach children, youth, about black consciousness. Because once you're conscious about who you are as a black person, as a black woman, then I believe you'll be empowered enough to know you are valuable, you are the giver of life, you are the pillar of this nation. So as a Soweto Women's Forum, we redefine womanhood. We redefine what it means to be a woman. You as a lady, amantombazane out there, you are valuable. We try to reach out to our victims, not only victims, but victims to be, the young generations, abantwana who are 3 years old, 12 years old, who are already getting involved in my relationships, not knowing the implications that are to be personally accounted. See, so as the Soweto Men's Forum, we build the nation yabafazi. We mobilize women. We teach women about black consciousness, how valuable we are as black women, and basically that this is not only a fault of Mnyama. It goes back to the apartheid era, the damage that was done back then. Indoda never used to beat up Mfazi, but when the master says do it, it was done. So it's a cycle.
Before you go there, quick one. Nombulelo Cylinder, the guy talking about you, Tsepo, is not taking a responsibility even once. He's blaming women that he killed. He's blaming his parents. How the hell did he get out of jail?
All right, and we're going to, of course, close the show. We'll give Tep, of course, another right to comment. And we'll also get our closing comments from our guests when we come back. Well, we're almost at the end of our program, but not before we find out what collective effort, of course, can we have, or rather play, in making sure the silent witnesses, so that one more life is saved in South Africa. It's about the perpetrators. They walk in the streets of South Africa, but I feel like naluena role effing rather so that we're making sure crime in Chichwalapil.
And before say breaking, there was a comment coming in from Nombulelo Cylinder. Ekala ukuthi Tsepo ever since ibe nayo segment yonke akukho lapha azibona khona enephutha kodwa kunalokho unabantu abablemayo. Uyalibona iphutha lakho Tsepo?
Again, I'm so sorry to the family. I've understood that people want to see me confined in some kind of I deserve to be there forever. But naga ithola, and I really want to make peace with the family. So, they will always have their own view. If I want to open the minds of the whole South Africa as a society to start reproducing loving men and responsible men and heartful men who are not abusing and killing their partners and children, how will I say, I'm not remorseful for what I'm done? I feel very sorry. But that's why I want other people to change their lives, because what I've done is actually bad to every. Even disintegrated one TV didn't touch you may not understand. Didn't touch to.
And not to ufunu we family. But what about isehlo lesenzala? We are so learning isehlo esenzakalayo nanomuntu wagcina edlule emhlabeni, because njengamanje ubuya ngathi ufuna ukuxolisa kwi family nje because iyona ifamily sasela. What about I situation? Do you think lo muntu wakuprovoke ukuthi wenza lokho, so that's an excuse yakho ukuthi wangenza ngakwenza lokho, but wena ulibonanga ukuthi kwaba nephutha lapha?
Botse awune excuse yake fa kikupona phosho, and I took the responsibility. I'm the one who took the action. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not pointing my finger at anyone. Kipona mlato. And it's all.
All right. Just briefly, please. Sezandi, like collective efforts we can do to sort of like come together and not be silent witnesses. Your response to that briefly, please.
I think firstly, one thing that we need to understand how things are connected. For example, it's very easy to look at Brother Tsepo and say you're only blaming your mother because he said nothing about the father. And indeed, I don't think he has convinced the house at large that he is guilty. Perhaps we don't even know or understand what, was going through his mind. But firstly, I think if you look at popular culture, the media and how they represent violence. For example, I grew up under the Yizo episode, and I think I was very young, and I saw for the first time, violence, rape, and nobody was there to explain it. At least I know my parents said, keep away from that, but it was already out there. No one took the responsibility, because I understand the intention was to educate, but then no one took the responsibility to actually look at the repercussions of, popularizing violence and trying to teach. And secondly, like Ututu said, the law is failing. The law is failing, I think, on 2 levels. Structurally, women are still minors. You know, you go to the courts, you go even to the police stations, they will turn you away because you're a minor. By you even reporting the crime, you are questioned. We know what the minister said about Ukarabo Mukwena. I will not go there. And then I think, lastly, as a society, we need to grapple with, firstly, what happened to us in the past. It is not normal. We have normalized violence. What has happened to us?
Thank you, Sasandi. Andile?
You know, for me, the biggest issue that we have as a country, as humanity, because this whole violence is happening across. If you read in Italy, a boyfriend kills a girlfriend every second day. It's the structural systems that are there for humanity that are not working. This patriarchy, this privilege that as soon as you're born a boy, you're this golden child. And what I asked Uputilana during the break, where was the father? The father was never there. And in listening to what he was saying, it's all about how his mom raised him. But what situation was the mom in that was making her raise him this way? So I'm saying this to say there are too many levels of things that need sorting. But even people who are watching, people are finding it hard to believe what you're saying. I'll say your community is going to be the ones, the custodians of you. Now that you're saying you're doing these things to make right, then the community around you, those are the people you should bring around you so that they see actions speak louder than words. Sitting here and saying these things might go so far, but it's not going to take you further if you don't actually put the action behind it. Because we all make mistakes, right? So he did it, but how is he paying back for what he's done? Their life is taken. South Africa still is having these issues. You've contributed to this whole outcry of South African women. So it's not just about that one girl or that one family. It's about you representing this monster in South Africa. So it's up to you to change that. And your community must hold you accountable.
Men started calling me and confessing that they were also about to kill their partners and their in-laws a lot, but they all changed their minds after listening to me presenting the book. So a lot of people are alive because of this book. Others were about to take their own lives, but they all changed their mind after listening to me presenting this book.
Okay. Siyabonga kakhulu bafethu. Sibonga ngahlelo namhlanje sithemba ukuthi kuningi okufunile khuluma, break that silence. That's a hashtag we're using.
Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.